For 13 years, I've regularly checked the satellite images of a disturbing house on Google Maps. I won't tell you where to look, unless you want something terrifying to look back at you. When I first spotted the house in 2012, however, it wasn't disturbing. It was curious, like me. I don't remember why I was absent-mindedly scrolling across that British village, sparsely populated and near nondescript. What I do remember is the reason I stopped on a particular garden behind a detached house, which stood adjacent to a few vast acres of farmland. A long T-shaped shadow was painting the lawn. It looked, to my eyes, like an oversized scarecrow. For the sake of visibility, most satellite images are snapped when the sun is at its highest, meaning shadows are at their shortest. You'll rarely see people walking out and about, and even if you do, their shades won't give them away. It couldn't have been a person standing with arms outstretched. Then again, something about my scarecrow hypothesis didn't sit well either. In any case, I was a teenager at the time and my interests were fickle. I forgot about the whole thing for years. But in 2016, my friend and I were talking about the many unanswered internet mysteries floating around, and I recalled that very personal mystery of my own from 4 years later. I showed my friend the house on Google Maps, and it was even curiouser than the first time. There were two T-shaped shades. The original was as long as ever, and the new one was half the height of the first. Very odd shadows, Oliver admitted. And it's just a residential house, not part of the nearby farmland. So why would the homeowner need scarecrows? I don't remember how I responded. The conversation took a detour into something else, thanks to the liquor incapacitating my thought processes. For I only realized that I'd been coaxed in to accompany my friend as his car rolled to a stop outside that famous house from Google Maps, no longer seen as a flat roof and garden from a bird's eye view, but as a three-dimensional, horribly real structure. The unassuming red-bricked residence was surrounded by 8-feet-tall hedges, countryside, and silence. There had been other cottages dotted along the winding country lanes here and there, but they did nothing to cut through the area's oppressive, all-consuming silence. Something about seeing the property in the flesh left my hairs tingling, left me ready to wrangle the steering wheel out of Oliver's grip and take us far away from that tall-walled place. And its hedges prompted an obvious question from my lips. Unless you've brought stilts, how are we going to peek into this garden? Oliver smiled as he opened the driver's door, so I followed him to the boot of the car. He'd always been more of a show-to-tell bloke. Inside the car's boot was a drone. Please, no. I inwardly groaned. I hated the thought of snooping on a stranger's property with an airborne camera. Then again, scaling the fence and trespassing would have been worse. So I nodded my head, signaling that I'd go along with Oliver's harebrained plan. He quickly took the drone up into the sky and we watched the live feed on his tablet. Controller as the white, bladed plastic insect sailed loudly above the house, rotors blurring against the sky. Oliver took the device over the roof tiles and we both held our breath as the garden came into view. Then we exhaled in harsh, painful gasps of shock at the revealed casters of the long shadows I had seen in photos for 7 years. Not scarecrows at all. 2 humans were tied with thick, well-knotted rope around their wrists and legs to large wooden crosses. Perhaps as much as the thought horrified me, crucifixes. My friend and I did not scream, but instead fell very silent, very still. There is no trauma quite like shock. No horror quite like being frozen to the spot, unable to think, unable to run. And the terror of what we were seeing would only worsen as my friend decided, with unsteady fingers, to fly the drone downwards, taking it closer to the 2 bound people in the garden. One was an adolescent boy, wriggling weakly in restraints as he eyes fixed on the drone filming him from above. He wore a white tee with 5 letters torn through its fabric, torn through to the flesh, creating blood-stained letters on his torso. Spawn. "Oh God!" I moaned in terror, slumping against the car with teary eyes on Oliver's tablet screen. We have to call someone. On the original